Funding for NJ Spotlight News provided by the members of the New Jersey Education Association, making public schools great for every child. RWJ Barnabas Health, let's be healthy together. And Ørsted, committed to the creation of a new long-term, sustainable, clean energy future for New Jersey. This is NJ Spotlight News with Brianna Venozzi.
It's election night, millions voting by mail or a ballot drop box.
I have trust in our system. Whoever turns out to be the winner is the actual winner. So I just hope that it's respected by both sides.
Dozens line up today to vote in person. The National Guard deployed to handle voting outbreaks, lawyers poised to handle voting discrepancies.
Election day is just the starting line, it's not the finish line.
As candidates make their last-minute push to sway the undecided, while others remain quarantined.
The only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged.
The nation waits for all votes to be counted in this historic election.
My message is simple. The power to change this country is in your hands.
Will we know the next president of the United States by tonight? NJ Spotlight News special election coverage begins right now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NJ Spotlight News for an election night unlike any we've ever seen. More than 3.5 million ballots have already been returned by mail or drop box. Record voter participation for what many are calling the most consequential election in a lifetime, playing out amid a global pandemic and a resurgence of the virus in our area. More than 1,800 new positive cases of COVID-19 reported in New Jersey today, changing typical get-out-the-vote tactics, reaching voters through virtual phone banks and Facebook Live events. That's where Governor Murphy spent some of the final hours today, an all-out blitz for local, state, and federal candidates. We've got team coverage tonight spanning the state, but we go first to Joanna Gagis. Joanna, for some of the voters today, elections just don't feel quite the same without showing up to the polls in person. So what did they find once they got there?
Oh, that's right, Brianna. You know, most people didn't know what to expect today, but by and large, it was a smooth voting process for those New Jersey residents who hadn't yet cast their ballots. That's about half the registered voters in New Jersey. But there were some problems today, like here in Newark, polling locations that opened late, others were closed, and the voters were redirected here to the Prudential Center.
Vote is closed, and no one never informed me that I had to change my voting place to come vote. So someone told me to come down here. That's why I'm here. I hope I can vote inside.
As for who'll get her vote,
Joe Biden all the way.
The New Jersey Institute for Social Justice is part of a coalition working to correct Election Day problems like the delayed openings in Newark.
So we know by about 7:30, 7:40, all of them were up, but that's an hour and a half. Where people were just waiting online, not sure what's going on.
Election Protection is a nonpartisan group that's on the ground as part of that effort.
Making sure that voters are at the correct polling station, and if they have questions, I'm here to answer their questions, and if there's an issue with their ballot, I'm here to help them out with that.
For all those who did cast their ballots here at the Pru, it was a pretty unique voting experience.
I thought it was going to be in some back office, but that wasn't the case. So it was kind of a cool experience to vote and be in that arena to do it.
It was weird. Thought we would have at least a poll or something to touch, but no, it was just the paper ballots, so that was a little different.
This voter in Clifton went to 3 polling stations before finding the right one. She says it's an attempt to suppress the vote.
I believe they tried to difficult for us. Doesn't matter who you vote for.
But her vote?
Donald Trump.
Why?
I believe in the country. I believe in hard work.
This voter in Jersey City cast his ballot, but wasn't sure it actually counted.
I was just under the impression that provisional ballots were for people whose voter registration wasn't completely secure and verified,
They won't let us vote.
And this couple in Fort Lee was angry with the whole process.
It is the most messed up thing ever. The polling places, You have to get online. Nobody knows anything. It's a terrible thing that they did.
So with all the new procedures, do voters think the outcome will be legitimate? It depends who you ask. So you trust the process if Trump wins?
Yeah.
If he loses?
Say that again.
If he loses?
If he loses, we got a problem on our hands.
I have trust in our system, and I think that we have corrective measures in place to make sure that the process is fair and that whoever turns out to be the winner is the actual winner. So I just hope that it's respected by both sides.
Whatever happens today, there's still everything. There's a lot of work that still needs to be continued.
And if you haven't yet voted, you still have time. You have until 8 p.m. tonight to be online or to drop your ballot in the box. If you voted by mail and you don't see your ballot's been received, you can still vote in person. You won't be counted twice. If you have any problems, call 866-OUR-VOTE. That's 866-OUR-VOTE. For NJ Spotlight News, I'm Joanna Gagos. Brianna, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Joanna. Well, the lines in polling locations have been calm, but top law enforcement officials say they're ready to address potential disruptions or even violence. Hundreds of lawyers from the Attorney General's office are being deployed at precincts around the state. The Federal Justice Department is monitoring 2 sites in New Jersey, Bergen and Middlesex counties. But will it bring about a democracy more divided or united? Senior correspondent David Cruz reports.
The only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Remember that.
The electorate is on pins and needles for a good reason. The president hinting that he'll call the election results into question. Misinformation, disinformation, doubt in the postal system, our electoral system, our courts, all of it. Polls suggest a very close race for president and a likelihood that supporters of either side will think that fraud played a role in the results.
What's going to be the reaction of voters who are supporters on either side after those election results come in, and depending on who actually ends up winning this election?
A lot of people are thinking that, and some are preparing for it. The Department of Justice announcing that Middlesex County will be among 44 sites across the country to which it will dispatch federal monitors. The governor expressed some skepticism.
It's not normal as far as I'm concerned, but this reminds me a little bit of the DOJ steps as it relates to our veterans' homes. That was a week before elections. This is a day before an election. I can't help but think that this is some politics to it. I hope I'm wrong.
But the Middlesex County prosecutor, a former assignment judge who oversaw election cases, says the monitors are nothing new.
They regularly send out monitors for elections in Middlesex County. In the past, they've sent out monitors to Edison Township. They've sent out monitors to New Brunswick. And I'm sure that they're out there this year as well.
Meanwhile, the Attorney General will have a team of close to 500 lawyers and deputies at polling places and on call. But to a lot of people, especially nowadays, the more attorneys they see, the more suspicious they become, and the more comfortable they feel about expressing it. Yeah! Woo! Locally, officials are hoping for a peaceful night, but ready for whatever comes. Newark Public Safety Director Anthony Ambrose said the state's largest city has all hands on deck.
We have our regular coverage that we normally do for elections. However, we do have all officers in uniform, both superior officers and detectives and patrol officers all in uniform in case we do need them.
I think the best case scenario, quite honestly, is if we know by the end of tonight who won the presidential election. I think regardless of that outcome, I think the not knowing is what creates anxiety.
So the challenge is clear. Can the world's strongest democracy survive this most fractious but fundamental process in one piece? We're about to find out. We'll be keeping an eye on the race for the White House and the battle for control of the Senate in what promises to be a very long night. I'm David Cruz. We'll send it back to the team now in Montclair.
Thanks, David. South Jersey's second congressional district matchup between incumbent Jeff Van Drew and Democratic newcomer Amy Kennedy is taking up most of the oxygen in New Jersey's political races. District support appears to be split between the two, with a lot riding on the ballots cast by unaffiliated voters. There's been no expense spared by the two campaigns, but what do these final hours look like for a candidate who's been sidelined by the coronavirus? Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan is on the trail. Brenda.
Hey, good evening, Brianna. We are outside on the patio at the Atlantic City Country Club, and this is where Democrats are going to gather here later tonight with space heaters to await the outcome of this very high-profile contest. And as you pointed out, the pollsters say this one's too close to call. Now, Amy Kennedy is home. She will not be here tonight. She is quarantining after being exposed to someone who tested positive to COVID, but she got some very serious help today to get out the vote.
Amy Kennedy. We must elect Amy Kennedy. I'm sick of traitors. I want to take Jeff Van Drew and put him into retirement.
With the candidate in quarantine due to COVID exposure, Governor Murphy rallied Amy Kennedy's campaign workers to help turn out the vote in Atlantic City this morning. It's a vote-rich chunk of CD2, and Kennedy needs to do well here to offset the redder parts of this South Jersey district that will swing to Democrat-turned-Republican incumbent Jeff Van Drew.
We got to win Atlantic County by at least 4 or 5 points for Amy Kennedy. Yes. If that doesn't happen, she's not going to win. Period. End of story.
Kennedy's a political neophyte, a teacher with deep Atlantic County roots who married former Congressman Patrick Kennedy. She tested negative for COVID and says she's feeling fine, but admitted quarantine's an odd way to end her first campaign.
It's really disappointing. It's you know, we've worked hard up to this point. I have such a great team and so many volunteers. This is a key race, and we're working really hard to make sure that people have gotten to know me, understand that I share their values.
The contest remains a toss-up according to polls, and it's drawing national attention. Van Drew, after spending his political life as a Democrat, stunned party faithful and flipped to the Republican side of the aisle, vowing undying support for the president before the pandemic hit and the economy crashed. Van Drew claimed the Democratic Party had grown too liberal, but furious Democrats want revenge.
This is somebody who switched parties exclusively for personal gain and for personal reasons. Jeff Van Drew changed his stripes, and I think we got to call somebody out who does that, and the only way you call him out is you beat him in the ballot box.
Van Drew scheduled no public events today. The now retired dentist spent decades in South Jersey politics as a conservative Democrat serving in the Jersey legislature before winning this seat, ironically, from a Republican. His decision to join Republicans prompted the president to promote him at a rally in Wildwood. State Republican Committee Chair Doug Steinhardt said South Jersey can't afford liberal millionaire Amy Kennedy's agenda. She'll back the most radical parts of Democrats' plan to take over health care, raise taxes, and cut funding to law enforcement. Those aren't our values, and they certainly aren't Congressman Jeff Van Drew's. That's why he joined the Republican Party and our campaign for common sense policies that will create jobs and keep our communities safe. Now, Jeff Van Drew is going to be awaiting election results at a pub down in Sea Isle City, that is in Cape May County. We, of course, will be keeping you up to date as the numbers come in tonight. And be aware, as this district is a little bit red here and a little bit blue there, that's going to have a definite impact on what the numbers mean. We'll walk you all through all of that later on tonight. I'm Brenda Flanagan reporting live from the Atlantic City Country Club for NJ Spotlight News. Back to you.
We certainly will. Okay, Brenda, thank you. All 3 of the other congressional districts that flipped blue in the 2018 midterms are up for grabs tonight. In the 3rd and 11th, Democrats Andy Kim and Mikey Sherrill are hoping to fend off their Republican challengers, both of which are putting up a tough fight. The National Republican Campaign Committee has the seats in their crosshairs and the help of a presidential race at the top of the ticket. Raven Santana has been closely monitoring the races in these battleground districts all day.
But there are still thousands of people who've yet to vote.
Incumbent Congressman Andy Kim started his day in Willingboro, knocking on doors, trying to reach as many voters as he could before the polls closed.
Election day is just the starting line. It's not the finish line.
Kim, a former State Department advisor who worked under the Obama administration, won the district in 2018, flipping the state's 3rd congressional district back to Democratic control.
My opponent is someone who has downplayed this pandemic. He goes around running around without a mask, somebody who hasn't taken this seriously enough, given the lives that we lost here in this area.
We need to build back the economy as quickly as we can, bring jobs back as quickly as we can, and that's my priority on day one.
Kim is facing off with David Richter, the former CEO of a national construction management company who decided to run in the 3rd District after abandoning his candidacy in the 2nd when Jeff Van Drew changed parties.
He promised he was going to be an independent and moderate voice for South Jersey, and he's been neither of those two things.
I'm a public school kid from this district with raising my kids here. They know that I'm fighting for them, whether it's for the small businesses here in town, whether it's the pandemic response.
And I think people that support President Trump are going to support me. They're certainly not going to vote for someone in Congressman Kim who voted to impeach the president.
Further north in District 11 may the best woman win. Mikey Sherrill, a former assistant U.S. attorney, is seeking her 2nd term in the U.S. House of Representatives. She's facing Rosemary Becky, a tax policy lawyer and consultant with a private lobbying and law firm.
She's voted lockstep with the party, voting with Nancy Pelosi 99% of the time. And I don't think that that's what the people of this district want.
So my opponent is, quite frankly, I don't think in step with the district. Her views on things like gun safety legislation are really extreme. She's also somebody who wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, the only piece of legislation protecting people with pre-existing conditions.
She voted to allow criminals to sue police officers for doing their job. And the people of this district don't believe that. And so that's actually why the PBA took the endorsement away from her and gave it to me.
She knows that I've said very clearly I don't want to defund the police. I've actually voted for millions of dollars in funding for our police, as my opponent knows. So that's simply, again, the kind of fear tactics that I think we're seeing all too often in our politics.
Both Cheryl and Becky continue going door to door in a last effort to reach as many voters as possible. Richter says he's betting on Trump for votes in his favor. And in a last effort to win over voters, Kim was joined by Governor Murphy at a polling center in Willingboro. All 4 candidates say they will only hold virtual speeches and events this evening. For NJ Spotlight News, I'm Raven Santana. Brianna, back to you.
Raven, thanks. The former president of Jersey City's Board of Education is facing a massive 26-count indictment by federal authorities. Sudan Thomas is being accused of fraud, money laundering, and embezzlement from multiple alleged schemes. Federal prosecutors say Thomas embezzled more than $45,000 during his time as the acting executive director at the Jersey City Employment and Training Program. Thomas was also charged with wire fraud for embezzling money from multiple school board campaigns and bank fraud for allegedly stealing checks issued to another candidate. Thomas did not return our request for comment tonight. Well, how about paid time off to participate in democracy? Business leaders are helping to fuel turnout this election day. Rhonda Schaffler has details and today's top business stories. Rhonda, how did they do it?
Brianna, a business-led group that aims to encourage voting can take a victory lap based on the voter turnout numbers we're seeing. The nonpartisan coalition called Time to Vote asked companies across the U.S. to give their workers time off to cast their ballots. The coalition set a goal this year of having 1,000 companies make that commitment. It exceeded that goal as more than 1,800 companies made the pledge. Time to Vote was launched in 2018 by a handful of companies. With the push to produce PPE in New Jersey, there's a need to make sure manufacturers have enough staff to do the work. A bill now on the governor's desk would provide a permanent source of funding for the New Jersey Manufacturing Extension Program. The group's CEO, John Kennedy, says that would go a long way towards supporting apprenticeship and other programs.
We can start training people up, people that are out of work, people that are coming back from service, people that don't necessarily have a pathway to college, get them into the industry, get them good jobs.
Under the bill, the nonprofit group would receive $1.5 million annually. Wakefern Food and Tuvich ShopRite stores will pay $235,000 to settle a data security case. The state attorney general's office says the settlement resolves allegations that Wakefern failed to protect the personal information of more than 9,700 residents who made pharmacy purchases at stores in Millville and Kingston, New York. The state charged that Wakefern stored sensitive customer information on electronic devices that it ended up tossing into a dumpster without first destroying that personal information. The owner of 3 South Jersey malls has filed for bankruptcy. Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust says its malls will remain open as it restructures. The company owns the Morristown Mall, Cherry Hill Mall, and Cumberland Mall. Now here's a look at how Wall Street performed on this election day. I'm Rhonda Schaffler, and those are your top business stories.
Support for the Business Report provided by Junior Achievement of New Jersey, celebrating 100 years as a mission and announcing this year's virtual NJ Business Hall of Fame on November 19th at 6 p.m. Event details online at janj.org.
If the poll numbers ring true, Joe Biden looks poised for a decisive victory in the presidential election. But it was 4 years ago today. The numbers looked good for Hillary Clinton, too. Since then, election analysts and pollsters have changed their methods and retooled their data. This 2020 election during a pandemic also means a surge of early mail-in ballots and fewer undecided voters. So where does the race stand with just hours to go? We asked the experts, Krista Jenkins, director of the Fairleigh Dickinson University Poll, and Patrick Murray, founding director for the Monmouth University Polling Institute. Great to see you both tonight. Krista, let's start with you. What is the path to victory for these candidates, and are you anticipating a similar outcome as 2016?
Well, I think the path for Joe Biden is pretty clear, and the numbers are looking quite good for him. The path for Donald Trump, unfortunately, is a little bit more narrow than perhaps it was in 2016. He's going to have to pick off a lot of those big states, and I'm sure we've all become very familiar with hearing about the Michigan, the Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Florida, Arizona. All of those states are going to be very pivotal for Donald Trump to recreate the victory that he achieved in 2016. And, you know, truth be told, the statewide polls were off a bit, but the national polls were actually quite accurate. They were off by about 1% relative to the actual outcome of the popular vote in 2016. And so to the extent that there is, I think, some uncertainty among the American public about particularly the national pollsters and their accuracy in predicting the outcome, they are looking quite good in 2020, much better than they did back in 2016.
Patrick, Krista mentions those swing states. Joe Biden leads there, according to the polls. Is it by enough of a margin?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is why we have the actual election, so voters can actually make that decision. What we can do is take polls that say, what are voters thinking and why are they thinking it, and look at key things that are going on in the electorate that are important and will determine the outcome. So the kind of turnout that's coming, we know that Democratic early voting has been incredibly huge. Can Republicans make up for that today, getting out to vote today in those states, particularly Pennsylvania? That's going to be the key state that we look at. Older voters, a group that has senior voters that have been voting for the Republican in presidential elections through the past few cycles. Polls suggest that they are going to give their preference to Joe Biden this time around. Will that hold up in the election day results? Those are the things that we're looking at, because that's Biden, part of Biden's path to victory. Donald Trump has to thread the needle just like he threaded the needle 4 years ago. The only difference is that the polls are telling us that the eye of that needle is smaller than it was in 2016.
Patrick, you mentioned Pennsylvania, and I want to just narrow in on that for a moment. How much are you watching that state, and particularly how the count is going to roll out there tonight and into tomorrow?
Yeah, Pennsylvania has been the tipping point states from the very beginning of this race. And by tipping point, it means that's the state that's going to have the margin of victory for either Trump or Biden that will put them over 270. But we're not going to know the outcome of Pennsylvania until many days. And that's because about a third to 40% of the vote was cast early, but Pennsylvania won't start counting those votes until either tonight or even in some counties until tomorrow. And it's going to take them a long time to do that because they've never handled that kind of vote counting before with the early ballots. So that's going to be the real key there.
Krista, does that state alone have the ability to upend what we'll know as far as results go at this time tomorrow?
I think so. I mean, as you know, as Patrick said, unfortunately, we're not going to have the clarity that I think we would all like to have and have become accustomed to on election night. It is going to require everybody to take a deep breath, I think, and wait. Unless, of course, there is just, such decisiveness early on in some of the other states that, allow us to have greater clarity. But, for now, I think we're in for a long haul.
Patrick Murray, Krista Jenkins, thanks to you both.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Join us tonight for live election night coverage starting at 9 p.m. from right here at Montclair State University. The NJ Spotlight News team will be fanned out covering key races across the state, both in person and virtually. Our political analysts will bring you insight on the campaigns and ballot questions in play. Don't miss it. Live on NJTV and streaming across all of our digital platforms. I'm Brianna Venozzi. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.
NJM Insurance Group, serving the insurance needs of residents and businesses for more than 100 years. PSE&G, we make things work for communities. And Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Have some water. Look at these kids. There, how are you? What do you see? I see myself. I became an ESL teacher to give my students what I wanted when I came to this country. The opportunity to learn, to dream, to achieve, a chance to belong and to be an American. My name is Julia Toriani Crumpton, and I'm proud to be an NJEA member.